Can you imagine a big man like me? I come to bother me. There's this guy that will not leave me alone. I met him like 3 years ago, I would say. Where did I ever meet this guy? Oh, on a night out with Sev. I went out to Bature with Sev, and I was sat on his table with his friends. I was sat on the same table with his friends. And he was the one who happened to be sitting next to me. So we started having a conversation. Just basically proximity. He said he had a dog. He had dogs. He said he even had 13 and a half dogs, which was cute. Like, he was cute on the first night. Like, it was really fun to talk to. Like, he said he was like an agriculture entrepreneur. Seemed like a young millennial guy. Like, I told him I was working for an insurance company, a UK insurance company. From Nigeria. I was working remote, and I was kind of interested in him. Like, he looked cute, and the conversation had been fun. And I'd gone inside to go order food, and I asked him to look after Sev, and he held on to Sev for a bit, and Sev kind of liked him. He said likes boys. Sev was probably gay because he loves men so much. And so it was cool, and then he dropped us home that night. I felt I kind of lingered kind of till the end of the night. And then he offered to, and then I tried to get a cab, and then he was like, no, don't worry, I'll take you home. So cool. He dropped us home 7-9. And then somehow that night, him and his friend sort of invited themselves in. No, he said he wanted to pee, right? And he wanted to get off and pee on the side of the road. And I was like, that's disgusting. Don't do that. You can come pee at mine. Because I was in Lagos then, and there was this Lagos, there's still, I had to fart. They have these guest bathrooms. I was right at the door, in the living room. So I was yeah, just come and use my guest bathroom. You don't have to pee on the side of the road like a vagabond or whatever. Anyway, so he did. He came in the house, and then his friends somehow came into the house as well. Anyway, I don't think this is his friend. I think it's his chaperone. So would not let him out of his sight. Anyway, so that one came inside the house, and I was kind of oh, okay, interesting, weird. Why are you here? I didn't really invite you in, but you're here now, so okay, whatever. And so after he then came out of the bathroom, they just went to just go take a seat, so that his friend and I took a seat, and it just kind of became this chilled hangout, and we were talking and stuff like that. I was showing them pictures of me for my birthday in Central Bay. We were just having a little chit chat and stuff. And it was a cute night. And then he gave me his number, saved his number on my phone, and it was alright. Kind of I was oh, let's see. He was cute. He was tall. He was my type. So I was okay, cool. It was light skinned though, so that was it. But still, alright. Yeah, so basically, okay, and that was it for that night. So we started talking, and then this guy planned a date. He was oh, we should go out to the cinema. I was okay, not my first choice for a first date, but okay, cool. It's the first, there's gonna be many more, so I don't mind us going to the cinema. So I was cool, yeah, let's do it. And then he was oh, can his friend come? And I was okay, it's a bit weird, but I was still trying to play cool girl, innit? I was still trying to do cool babe. So I was like, weird request. Like, it's not giving grown man, giving very like very weird, very juvenile. I'm looking for my phone charger. I'm coming. It's giving very like this is not blue charger. It's giving very like juvenile vibes, like very teenage vibes. Like why you asking if your friend can come on what I assumed was a date with us two, you know? Very weird. So I was thinking, okay, well maybe it's me that was just thinking it too deep. Like maybe it's not meant to be a date. And it's just actually meant to be like a hangout with all four of us. Because his friend was gonna bring a date as well. So I was like, okay, cool, like maybe it's just meant to be a hangout. And I was just deep in it too much. Alright, no problem. So I was like, cool. And then the day of the date comes, and then guess what? This guy doesn't even show up. He cancels it. He messages me and he's like, oh, something came up. Work, can't do it. Alright, cool, no problem. It's whatever. No problem. Abby, what am I gonna do about it? No problem. Oh, this is ridiculous. I've been having such charger problems. Anyway, so yeah, and then he's like, okay, well, next day, and then he reaches out for next day, and then he's like, oh, he asked me like, do I want to go out or do I want to stay in? I was like, oh, I want to go out, and he was like, oh, he wants to stay in. I'm like, okay, like, so why ask me? Like, what? Like, he was like, oh, can we stay in? Why ask me then? But I was like, okay, no problem. He said, oh, we can order in food from the place that we were gonna go to, because I suggested we go to Maple, and he was like, okay, well, we can order in from Maple and just stay home. I was like, okay, cool, we can do that. It's like, it's cool, it's whatever. I'm down for it. And then yeah, we planned a day, a time, everything. And then that day comes again. And then this guy does what? He cancels. That's right. He goes, oh, like his dad like needs him to do something on the border of Lagos. He needs to go now. But he's gonna be back. He's gonna be back at like say like 3 a.m. or something. And like, do I want to stay up and wait for him? I was like, the fuck? The fuck I do? Why the fuck am I gonna do that? Why would you asking me to stay up and wait for you to come back from an errand? I'm like, what the fuck? Because that was so weird to me. Because I was like, okay, your dad said you're on an errand on a night, impromptu errand on a night that you had already planned for something else, and you cannot tell your dad like, oh dad, like I have plans, or, like, can I do this thing like this other time, like kind of busy like for tonight. You can't do that. You're telling me you're not in a position to do that with your dad? You ain't a grown man. You ain't a grown man. You ain't a grown man. Get the fuck out of my sight. I'm like, what the fuck? That is such a weird dynamic between you and your dad. You have your own evening planned out. Okay, I'm gonna do this, do that. Then your father, your pops, then said, bro, drop everything, go now. And you can't like just like have an adult conversation and just be like, bro, I feel you on this thing, and like, trust me, I really want to do this thing for you, but can't do it tonight. Even if you tell your dad like, bro, like I've got a date, I planned a date, like I can't cancel, like it's the second time I've canceled, like I can't cancel, I've got a date. You're telling me your dad won't understand? Your dad, like, how many hours are you gonna spend on this date? Anyway, it's better to just leave the entire evening if you plan a date, just because you don't want to be there like clock watching. Anyway, this boy didn't do any of that. Guess who he dropped? Me. He dropped himself, because me, I don't business for him. So I was like, okay, cool, no problem. I was like, yeah, fuck them. I'm not fucking waking up. I'm going to bed. Like, bitch, I got work in the morning. So cool. And I wake up and I see on my phone 3 a.m. Are you up? Go punish you. You this boy, oh, help me punish you. I get lost. Anyway. So I was like, whatever. Anyway, so I didn't hear from him again after that for a while, like maybe months. I didn't hear from him again. I left him. Next time I hear from him, he's like, oh, you know, are you in Nigeria? Can I take you out? Like, I really want to explain what happened. Yeah, yeah, yeah. All of that. There was a thing that happened. I'm trying to see, did it happen before or after he came back? I think it happened before he came back. Before he went away and came back, right? So I was out. I was going to my friend's birthday, right? And so yeah, we were on the mainland. I was with my driver and we were on the mainland, and my driver got pulled over by the police, and I called this guy based on the fact that he had told me that he had political links, right? So I called him and I was like, bro, the police have stopped me. I'm on the mainland. They said da 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 da, you know. I think they said, oh, my driver used the one way, but it was late at night. Like, he didn't see, I didn't see any like sign saying like, you know, don't come this way. Like, we didn't know. And they put him over and they started like harassing him, like, you know how like Nigerian police do now, just like shouting good cop bad cop. They're going in the car, they're taking his key out the ignition, they're basically harassing the guy. And so I just sat there at the back and I was like, okay, who can I call? Like, I'm not gonna get involved in this like dynamic and just escalate things and just like, stress myself out. I know how these people are. I know what's going on. Let me just chill and just figure, okay, how do I solve it? So I called this guy and I'm like, okay, like, this is happening right now. Like do something. Talk to this. Just do something. This is the situation. You know what this guy asked me? He's like, what did you do? What do you mean, what did I do? Bro, this is Nigeria. This is Lagos. You know how these things are. Like, you don't need to do shit. You know how these people are. Like, and that's what I'm saying. So I don't really think he's Nigerian. Well, he's Nigerian, but he didn't grow up in Nigeria. I grew up in Nigeria. I did a bit of my life. Like half of my life was in Nigeria. I was 14 when I left Nigeria. So I knew how the Nigerian system worked. Although, like, I was still like IJGB kind of, you know, thing. But like, I was a mix. I was a hybrid. I was a local, but I was also a IJGB, you know. So it kind of pissed me off when he asked me, like, what did you do? I'm like, what the fuck? Like, you know how this thing is. Like, don't ask me that kind of question. I don't, just fix it. But I was in the middle of, like, I needed him to just sort this out. So I was like, okay, well, this is what happened. This is what they said that I did. He's like, okay, well, I'm not in Lagos at the moment. No, he didn't say it because it's not a UK boy. But he was just like, you know, like, I'm not in Lagos at the moment. I'm out at this. And I'm like, okay, like, what does that have to do with anything? Like, just make a phone call. Like, it's the same. If I had political links, bro, like, why do I need to be? I don't need to be there, bro. I was so that shit out. So I was like, okay, like, what does that have to do with anything? He's like, oh, you know, like, you know, if I was there, like, I would have come down to meet you guys. So you mean to tell me that if you were in Lagos right now and I called you to tell you that this kind of thing was happening, you will have me wait here on the mainland, on the side of the road, on the mainland, in the middle of the night? You will have me wait here while you drive down from your house in Ikoyi to me on the main line before you can sort this issue out? Is that what you're telling me? I bet.